For over 2 years now, all of us have ventured through uncharted territory and dealt with many challenges.
I think COVID has had really big impacts on kids, especially the ones we get on camps. A lot of them have found out that the world can be quite a painful and hard place. Because of that, they're asking a lot of questions about why do these things happen? What is the purpose of why we're here on Earth?
COVID's really been a disruption, hasn't it, to everyone's life and world, and I think that's the case for students as well. I think our students, what they expected has been totally changed, and that connection has been a real challenge. And so I think that's a real space that groups like CRU can speak into that connection and building purpose and meaning around why the world is the way it is.
It was a time of uncertainty, and girls were feeling quite anxious about the future. But to keep encouraging them to keep thinking about God and the hope that we have in Jesus, and to know that this is not what life is going to be like forever. And even though we don't know what's ahead, He does. And I think for them to keep being reminded of those things during COVID was a great encouragement to them.
Jesus offers these young people hope. In schools and on camps, God, through CRU, is helping kids to rise above their challenges.
As a schools ministry team, we developed some resources to help students discover Jesus even during lockdown. I got to lead on a St Paul's camp, and a few weeks later I got to visit St Paul's Chapel and to see the kids light up when they recognised their camp leaders. And we also got to deliver Bibles to some students that requested them.
Last year we used the online resources, so we have a game, and then you've got the Bible verses, and then you've got the questions and encouragement to pray at the end. So it's a really nice structure.
One of my friends a few years back in year 10 came along to CRU 1 week with me, which was very exciting, and he started learning about this guy called Jesus, and he had nothing to do with Jesus in his life before. His family wasn't Christian, he'd never been to church. Yeah, he loved it, which was really exciting, and so it's been really encouraging to see him coming along each week since then and learning more about Jesus and seeing him put his faith in Jesus.
I think CRU is helping students to rise above, and I think that idea of fellowship with other students, being connected, having purpose, I think that helps students to sort of have that big picture view rather than get caught up in the disruption and the uncertainty that surrounds them.
I was on a camp, and it was a school camp, and I had just been having a hard day, and we were about to go into discussion groups. So I just prayed and I was like, God, please help me to get through the discussion group. Give me the strength to be able to share the gospel faithfully with these kids. As we were packing up, one of the girls, her name is Sienna, she came up to me and she said, May, I would really like to give my life to Jesus. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. I could see that God was working through her. I was able to ask her questions about why she wanted to be a believer, and she responded with saying that Jesus had died for her and risen again so that she could be forgiven, and she just wanted to give her life back to Him, but she wasn't sure how. And so I prayed, and she was able to pray for the first time and actually give her life to Jesus, and she became a follower of Christ that day.
Camp's been really great this year to encourage the girls who already know Jesus and love Him to continue to follow Him and to plant seeds of the gospel message for those who might not yet believe in Jesus.
Before I came to CRU camp, I found it pretty hard to understand about faith and about God, but when I came to CRU camp, I found it pretty easy to understand because they make it more personalised for you.
Camp has been a really good experience. It's been a great refresh and break to the point where I had completely forgotten that COVID was a thing for most of this week.
There's been stories like Jesus calming oceans. Jesus sounds pretty great, to be honest.
There's so much talk at the moment in schools about wellbeing, personal wellbeing. The great thing about the CRU group is that it encourages them to think about the needs of others, And that actually promotes personal well-being.
I think it's really important for students to realise that God has a plan and that plan is good. God's plans are the ones that prevail, and that actually is really freeing, and we know that and trust that.
I'm really looking forward to this year, a full schedule of camps. We've got really big camps and a lot of different schools and year groups that we're going to be having on camp. There's little moments on camps where I see kids understand that God is big, or who Jesus actually is. Helps me to remember that I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for the glory of Christ and to bring more people to Him. And that just allows me to rise above things when they get really hard.
As we look ahead, we can look forward to many more opportunities to share Jesus with a new generation. With your support, we can rise above.